everybody. This is week 12. This is week 12. That's three. We're doing this 3 months. Week 12 of the Laboratory of Redemption, man. So we want to welcome everybody, man. Thank you again for joining us. We have a couple of, the topic is something that's near and dear to us. This week, this month, I know a lot of you may be aware, but this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we will have someone speaking to that. Again, thank you for joining us. A couple of things we're going to be going over. The word for this week actually has something to do with that, is resiliency. Of course, if you're going through something of that nature, being resilient is definitely a key word for you. So we're going to be keying in on those things today. Welcome everybody to 100K. We want you to keep that in mind. Well, that's a focus of ours. 100K a month. I know it's a little bit slow out there right now, but once things get back revved up, do everything that you can to be prepping for that 100K a month. So that still is the goal, and so we welcoming everybody to keep that and doing that as well. So today we're going to be having a close part of our family. Toby Rowe is going to be speaking to the National Domestic Violence Awareness. So she will be speaking to that. Also, our Justice Spotlight is going to be a Mr. Roderick Preston. Mr. Roderick Preston is going to be our Justice Spotlight. So he's going to let us know what's going on in his world as he is entering into this IA field world. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. Again, a little bit about myself. Excuse me. My name is Demetrios Chacon. I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, DFW. I've been adjusting about 5 years now. So I've been here sticking with the last 3 years strong. I took off about a year, a little bit slow in 2019. So me, Travis, and Major, we all started together and had our first adventure out there together, as a lot of you know. But a little bit about my background, again, being from Dallas. Some may know I didn't meet my mother until I was 26. I'm 50. I didn't meet my dad until last year, 49. And we still on, rounds. But my mother that took me in, she passed away when I was 9. So I've moved around a lot. I've been around a lot from different family, different situations, a lot of different things, man. So my childhood coming up been it's been really, 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 really my story. Really, really crazy. Really, but everybody got their own story. So throughout all of that, man, being resilient, in my mentality, in my action, my perception, seeing things, has really gotten me through without, being a crazy, angry person or, somebody like that. And being an adjuster, being resilient, is definitely going to be needed. There's going to be times where things are rough. You're not going to get the training that you want. You may not have the money to get your ladder. You may not have the money to get your cuckoo paws. There's going to be some things that you're going to have to really push through and find a way and be resilient to get started in this journey. But it is all worth it. I'm telling you, and everybody on this phone that's been doing this will tell you that it's all worth it to be resilient in that. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and get everything started. Today, we're going to get started. Dr. Travis Brock is going to join us and key us in and give us a few words and let us know what's coming up on the horizon. So, Dr. Brock, if you would join us, please.
Yes, sir. What's going on, family? Everybody doing all right?
What's going on?
Everybody good? Everybody good?
Yes.
Chat, if you good, put some ones in chat. If you good, drop a 1 in the chat, please. If you good, if you not, put 2. If not, put 2. Everybody good? All right, man. Cool deal. All right, man. Yeah, 1, 1, 1.
All right, Cedric.
Hey, what's happening, man?
All right.
No, man, but things are good, man. Definitely some exciting times. Looking forward to what's being created in the background. Looking forward to serving everyone. The one thing that's on my mind this month was, of course, domestic violence, and it is definitely something that's near and dear to me. I'm gonna share a story with you that I really haven't shared before. I said, let me go ahead and share the story now. But I am definitely, before I get to that, man, we look forward to working with you and really helping you out. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, reach out to us. I promise you, reach out to us. We will definitely talk to you. I promise you that. All right. Don't be on deployment like, man, what do I do now? How come I'm stuck making the kind of money I'm making? I promise you, we can give you an answer as far as how we can assist you. And if we can't, we will find the answer for you if that's okay. Is that cool? Yes or yes? Yes?
Yes.
Cool. I like it. That's pretty good. So I remember specifically, it was 1993. And I remember one of my favorite shows used to come on Sundays was Living Color. I love that show. Oh man, it was
That's a
absolutely, that
good
was my
show.
show. That was my show. Highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate. So inappropriate.
Probably for a
My favorite
kid.
character was, handyman, inappropriate, right? And what my favorite though was Homie the Clown. Oh my gosh, he was hilarious to me. He was the black militant clown. Who was got out of prison, and he had just to stand against the establishment, right? I remember sitting there. I was sitting there with my nephew and nephews and nieces, and we were sitting there watching the show. And I just remember eating ice cream. Now, disclaimer: my favorite ice cream is Bluebell. I didn't have it back then. That's my favorite. Okay, well, nobody says my favorite ice cream in the doggone world. Let's argue. Who got something better than Bluebell? Anybody?
Nobody.
I ain't think so, right? If you never had it, that sucks for you. But let me get back to what I was saying. I remember sitting there eating ice cream, just sitting there, watching the show. Homie Clown was going on his rant, talking about the establishment, the man, and start singing the song. They sing to the children. And then, of course, they kept singing to him with the little thing. Homie, don't play that. Then I remember in the background, hearing some commotion in the background. I was sitting there, something used to in the background, just hearing it in the background, fussing and cussing and fussing. I seen my sister, and at the time, her boyfriend running down the stairs, right? And he had a bat in his hand. And I'm starting eating ice cream. I was eating Neapolitan ice cream. My favorite was strawberry part, right? I was eating it, then it just stopped and time stood still. 1993, it was around December time. It was around Christmas time. And I remember it just stood still. I remember him saying, "Shut up, bitch," and hit her with a baseball bat in the head. I'm like, can't do anything about it. I'm so small. And cracked her skull.
Oh my goodness.
She lived through it. She didn't have to go through it. She had the warning signs that he wasn't the proper person to be with. She had all the warning signs.
Wow.
All of them. It was all presented to her. My brother on the call right now, he knows all about this sorry gentleman. He ain't the sorry guy. He knows all about him. Right? Now, I said this story because I kept quiet for so long.
Wow.
And that's what happens in society. We keep quiet. And it happens over and over and over again when I could have said something, but I didn't know that I could. We want to make sure that, because one of the things that I find, it's not always true, but it's a huge part of it, financial. That creates this stress on any relationship, this finances. We have an opportunity to create some decent money, but also to not just creating it, but want to make sure that we steward it properly. So we don't want you just to have it and then lose it. We want you to secure it and also make it grow. Now, seeing her today, it breaks my heart because that affected her to this day.
Mm-hmm.
She's not the person I knew before she was hit with the bat.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, he's online right now. He will attest to it.
Mm-hmm.
He will attest to it. Right? Mm-hmm. But imagine if we would have said something before that moment happened. All the signs led to the crescendo. So I'm excited about Toby sharing her story and sharing as far as the power and sharing what's going on and what happened to you. Now, I get there's embarrassment. There's all this stuff, that spectrum of stuff. However, we want to make sure that we're able to be there for you, but also to provide resources to where you can go get assistance, right? Because it happened. Whatever, to whoever it is or to you, to whoever it happened. We want to make sure that we know that it happened. However, because it happened to you, doesn't mean that you have to stay there. I just buzzkill, huh? Y'all just serious buzzkill, right? But the severity of it is this: if someone would have said something and did something sooner, possibly, that moment wouldn't have happened.
But remember that she's got to have in her mindset that she's got to be willing to let go and let God and move to another level. And that's
where I was going to go.
To her by us as brothers, but she would fight us if we fought him and got rid of him. And that's why we had to say, hey, look, you got to get some professional help. And because we tried, my brother Ben really tried to stop. And I wasn't there living in the house, but talked to me and told me. Ben tried, and Ben got so frustrated that he left due to the fact that Cheryl will always go back. You gotta say no. You gotta be willing to stop making excuses. You got to be willing to go forward, because a man will lie or a woman will lie as quick as we can blink, but they got to be willing to let go and move on.
See that right there? I paid him to jump.
That's right.
I paid him right there. I paid him. See, that was a good transition. I said, brother, check it out. Wow, that was scripted. I'm lying. That wasn't scripted. That wasn't. But that's definitely the truth. Absolutely the truth. All we can do is share the information, and we can present opportunities as far as to grow, but on the person. However, we can't give up on it though.
Right.
We can't give up on it. We
can't give up, and we've got to remind them of how special they are and that they have so much potential. But until they realize that, they'll always go back. And the beating means nothing to them the moment of them spending with that person who they think is going to change. And they're not going to change. A man hits a woman once, he'll hit her again. And we got to realize that they got to be the one. They need to get some mental help, some psychological help, some help from a counselor. They got to go get help. But until they realize that, it's going to continue. If not with that person, but with somebody that's just like them. But that's up to them totally. No matter how much we preach, until they say enough is enough, then we'll just be blowing our breath. But we still got to blow our breath.
Absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. I just want to make sure I share that story because it is real. And that happened 30 years ago. I'm just now sharing it. So we'll make sure that it's important. We want to make sure we make it important, a space for someone to be able to open themselves up. Even though we may know what's going on, but just let them know, hey man, I know what's happening. I'm here for you. And actually mean it. Actually mean it. Don't just bloviate. I said bloviate. That sounded real smart, didn't I? So don't just say it. You know, look at that big old smiles, Kool-Aid smiles, right? Don't just say it and not mean it. Mean it when you say it, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to get off the mic. I can go wax poetically, but I want to make sure I set the tone for this, because this is a really, really big deal for me. Like this is something I said, man, October's coming. Let's get involved with this, because this is something that we really have the opportunity to really get in front of. So I thank each and every one of you for being here. I really do. I don't want you to think that I don't respect your time. I respect you, and thank you guys for being here for sure. I'm gonna pass the mic. Chest pass. How you want it, Janae? Overhead. Where'd you go?
All right.
I got it.
Where'd it go?
All right. Hey guys. For those that don't know, my name is Janae. I started adjusting this year in January. Blessed to still be working right now, especially during the slower months. I've really been working all year, so I'm happy about that. But just to bring the topic back to like resiliency, in this industry, if you don't have that, you're not going to last very long. When you start out in this industry, like we've mentioned many times before, they really just throw you out there. It's really is sink or swim. And when you have a community like the one that we're building, it helps you get past those moments that you feel like even in the beginning, when I first started 3 weeks in, I was questioning myself, like, can I even do this? You know, I mean, now it's so easy that it's silly that I even thought that in the beginning, but you do have those moments where you're just like, I'm not sure if this is for me, or I'm not sure if I could really do this, you know, for as long as some of these other people are doing. And that's where the resiliency has to come in. luckily enough, I did meet Meech while during my first deployment. So I did have someone to speak with. So I wasn't totally out there by myself, but luckily for everyone else, we're building this beautiful community where you will not have to worry about those things. You will have those tough moments still where you might be questioning yourself, like, can I do this or can I continue to do this? But at least you would have us to reach out to, and just ask questions and kind of get through those moments. Because trust me, it will happen, whether it's week 1, week 2, or week 3, when usually those cuts are coming in about week 3. So speaking of, I want to say a special shout out to Sterling, one of our very own. He just finished up his first deployment. He lasted about 5 weeks, and I had to tell him, like, that's really good. Like, my first deployment, I lasted about 3 weeks where they was like, okay, you did great. You did
He made
great.
about 10 grand though. Over 10 grand on 5 weeks. He did pretty good. He did pretty good.
He did pretty good. Like, so I'm proud of him. So yeah, special shout out to Sterling. Again, for all the new people, Major, if he could just throw out the contact form for anyone that is just joining us today, please fill out this information. We have so many things brewing underneath the surface. I promise you, you will greatly, greatly benefit from this community coming up. Up next is the Adjuster Spotlight. We have Roderick Preston coming on. Roderick, if you could just unmute yourself and just introduce yourself a little bit. Let us know, like, how long you've been adjusting, how you guys started. Just give us a little background.
I got started adjusting really last March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
last
over
March
a year now.
Yeah. Now, you know how adjusting is, you got time from starting and you got actual experience. I know some people say they got their license years ago and they may be on their first or second deployment, so that don't mean you got experience. So this was my first time doing 3 months. So I'm like right at the 3-month mark. For
Is
this
that
third
currently right
deployment
now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For this deployment, yeah, I think I started July the 7th, so I'm almost at 3 months. And this is my third deployment. I'm in Minnesota. My first deployment was in Minnesota.
Okay.
I think I started. I got my license in March, and then I got my first deployment in May.
That's pretty good.
2022. I got started because of Ronique. I went to college with Ronique at Langston, and she moved to Dallas, and she, I guess she was just back and hit me up. We was on Snapchat, and she was going to hookah lounge. I said, all right, I'll pull up. I'm so glad I pulled up on her.
I bet.
Man, she had this glow about her. And say, and you know how the ketchup talk is. The ketchup is, man, what you been up to? You know what you're gonna say, working. Oh yeah, what you been up? What you do now? I'm a claim adjuster. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I heard they make a little paper or something. And she was like, yeah, I did good. I got in her business. So I got in her business, like, man, how much you make out there, man? And she told me numbers for me that are outrageous amounts of money. You know what I mean?
Like legally.
I think Ronique told me, like,
Yeah.
I'm legally, you hear me? So I think Ronique told me something like she made like 20 or a little over 20 racks. And she said, I've worked for a month. And I was like, I said, excuse me? So that was a Thursday night. That was a Thursday night. She told me that. And I was on adjusterresource.com.
I know that's right.
I was in the class that, did I do it that weekend? Or no, I think I actually did it that weekend. I think I was licensed by like Wednesday.
Damn.
Yeah.
You was not playing.
I jumped straight in.
Smart man, smart man.
I jumped straight in. I ain't play with it. So
So you said your first deployment was in Minnesota. How long did that first deployment last?
it lasted for like a month and
Mm.
a month and a half.
Yep.
Month and a half.
That's
So that
pretty
was an
good. Yeah.
hourly deployment.
Okay.
At that time, the most stressful thing I had ever did in my life, because I didn't know I was shaking going up a ladder. I hadn't been on a ladder. That was the first time I ever used a
Right.
ladder outside. I remember jumping off my house. One of the houses I lived in growing up as a kid, I jumped off I don't know how I got on it. I probably climbed up some weird way. I jumped off of it, probably rolled and got up. Fast forward to being 35 years old. Nah, you don't jump off roofs.
You don't jump
You
off
damn
roofs.
sure don't get up them without a ladder. So I hadn't used it. I was shaking. The policy holder had a son. He went up on the roof before me.
Oh man.
I followed him. The son says, "Why is his leg shaking like that?" And it was a 1-story, 412 roof.
Not a four.
Oh man, hold up.
I
Not
didn't
a
even know. I
four.
didn't even know
For
what a
those
pitch
that don't know
was.
what a four is about, it's not very steep. It's
A
not very
four. If you have
Not very
fours
steep.
all day to inspect, it'll feel like an off day. That's how easy a four
Absolutely.
is. But I was shaking.
Right. Right.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, yeah. He
I
froze
didn't
on
know
us.
what I
Oh,
was
there you
getting
go.
at. And I dang sure didn't know how I was about to get
Oh
off
man.
Starting to lose him.
Yeah.
the roof
Man, the story getting
back
Yeah, we're
crazy.
losing him.
to the left. I didn't do what I was supposed to do before I went on an inspection. And when I got home, I looked at my Eagle View and I found out that I had been on a 12-12 and I didn't even notice it. So that tell me I was on a 2-story 12-12, and that let me, and I didn't use no equipment, so I'm just up there thugging in my
Wow.
cougar paws. So that lets you know that
Wow.
I've grown. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's a lot of
So you
growth.
said this is your third deployment right now in Minnesota again.
Yeah.
Are you on hourly or are you on
Nah,
component?
this is my first component
Oh,
deployment.
okay. So talk to me a little bit
Yeah.
about the difference, work-wise, money-wise. What's the difference for you?
I'm struggling, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm struggling.
Right.
Okay, so first off, I do have a roommate, so that lets you know how the game goes. You're trying to save money.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is my roommate's first deployment. So, I feel like her growth she grew way more than I grew on the first deployment because component asks, basically you grinding for your money. So the better you
Absolutely.
are, the more efficient you are, the more paper you're gonna make.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that pace in itself stretched her a lot more. But as for me, coming off of hourly for the first 2 deployments, the bar is a lot lower. And you gonna lock in, man, that's 712, $42 an hour. It was so beautiful. I ain't gonna hold you. That
I know.
$8,000. I know some of y'all that y'all done forgot about how good 8,000 is, but for me, 8,000 every 2 weeks was beautiful. For
Absolutely.
me. Now I got spoiled though. So when I came over on component, I was dreaming and praying. I'm like, man, on component boy, they make all that bread. So I'm like, okay, they gonna make all this money. And this deployment in particular, they knew ahead of time that, they had a couple hell maps, but they knew it wasn't no damage up here for real.
Okay.
And so you not,
It's
it's
hard to see
definitely
those
based off of your
numbers.
pace. It ain't based off of trying to get no schedule fee, no, you know what I mean? None of that over 20,000. dollars so you
Right.
can get that percentage situation. So I'm learning the hard way. Like you really got to be able to knock stuff out.
You
know
gotta
what I
reach
mean?
out to us, bro. Reach out. I give you so much game. Gave you so much game.
Yeah, especially Travis. Especially Travis. Like before I met Travis, I was like struggling doing 3 a day. And I just was like, I don't know how people are doing 4 or 5 or 7 or 10. Like I was
I
seeing
talk
crazy numbers. Like,
facts. I'm
and
right
I
where
spoke
you
to
were.
Travis, and after I spoke to him 1 week later, I was able to do 6, and I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Like it's hard out here to schedule that many because I have to deal with PAs. I don't know if you guys deal with those in Minnesota, but
I did. My second one was in Illinois, and they had a lot of PAs.
yeah, a lot of PAs in Illinois. But yeah, definitely get with Travis.
What's
He
the
will
PA?
really help you with efficiency. What'd you
Yeah.
say, Travis? Say that again.
PA.
What's a PA? Oh, a public adjuster.
Public adjuster.
So yeah, the policy holder usually would have a public adjuster kind of like talk for them and make sure everything goes smoothly on their behalf. So that leads me to my next question though. So how would this community have benefited you like early on or even when you first started this current deployment that you're on?
I mean, honestly, what I was telling Travis this, I mentioned it to him earlier, that really what I'm seeing is that you got your expectations. They tell you what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. And then when you out in the field doing it real time, it's different. It's like a whole nother animal. So there's tips and tricks. Like you may be in a whole meeting and your managers and trainers tell you do this and do that. You can speak to that same manager 2 weeks later and ask them a question one-on-one, and they'll tell you how they bent the rules to make sure that they're doing more and getting more done and to make the inspection go faster.
Absolutely.
So really, this whole thing is about tips and trips on how to bend rules the right way.
Play within
You
the
know what I
rules,
mean?
basically.
Like bend the rules the right way, not like illegal on identifying damage, nothing like that, but like, man, I was painting houses red. Basically, they was making fun of me on this deployment. Like, you chalking every turtle vent, like, and you taking pictures of every turtle vent.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I went on a ride along with one of my managers, and he just said, "Here, let me do it. Just watch me." This man, he took a picture of one downspout, and then, I mean, he took notes of all the other downspouts that had hits, but he really only took pictures of one downspout, and then he went by his business. And when he took the notes, wrote it down,
I feel
and
like
then I'm
it
like,
also
bruh.
I feel like also like once you get the experience and your managers kind of, they trust you in a bit, then you can kind of move that way,
Yeah, you
because
got to
they
know
know
your
that you,
managers
yeah, they got to know
to a
you
certain
too.
extent.
They
Yeah.
got to know you too. Absolutely. Because, they always going to start you off with like no authority, zero authority, and you got to try to find your way to, get to at least 20,000, at least 20.
If I could get, man, that's a beautiful space to be in too, when people can get out your business and you can do 20,
Yeah, and you
right up
can
to
move a little
$20,000
quicker.
claim or something. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be nice. But yeah, so it's tips and tricks. He got on the roof. He saw one. They didn't have no prior claims, and he saw one. He chalked up one turtle vent and counted all the rest of them. Man, we was on that roof, so we got off that roof so quick, and I'm just like, bro, I'm on this roof looking at everything. Like, I'm up and down this thing. I was too thorough, basically.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
was just like,
That's
bro,
how
it
you
don't
start
take that
off.
long, and you ain't got to do all that. So really learning tips and tricks and being comfortable with those tips and tricks. You know what I mean? And that's a major thing with just getting efficient. You know what I mean? Having a good strategy. So any strategy that I can grow into implementing, that's how this group could benefit. And your time is all the way money. Time ain't never been as much money in my life than it is right now. Time is money for real. Like I had to actually look into limiting conversations. Like, man, I can't talk during
Oh,
these
absolutely.
hours. You know,
Absolutely.
because when
Yep.
you got a good focus, if somebody break a good focus while you working this job, man, they cost you.
Like
So,
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I just want to wrap it up. Last question. The topic is resiliency. You've been through 3 deployments already. Can you speak to how you had to overcome anything, or what were like the tougher moments?
what? This is they call it deployment. You to get
Right.
deployed, like you going to war, like, and I be
No.
broke. Like I be broke for real. Like I ain't up. Like I am not up.
Mm-hmm.
Cause the first time I made that hourly bread, and that was a lot of bread for a short amount of time.
Right.
I came back, and so money management. You look back like I should have did this, or I should have been chilling.
Yep. Yep.
I should have went straight back out and did
Oh,
another one.
definitely.
That's a big
Definitely.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
You should try to run them concurrent if your situation allows. That way you can retain the information the little bit that you learned from your first one, it could transfer over. So my second one was like 7 months after. And so I
Oh,
forgot
wow.
almost it. I was only familiar
Yeah,
with
that's
stuff
tough.
on my second one. I didn't retain everything. I was just familiar. So it was almost like resetting.
Yeah.
But thugging it, sleeping in the car for a week and a half,
Mm.
getting Planet Fitness memberships so you can
Just the
shower,
shower.
Yep.
Right.
getting a roommate. I think we was at the Red Roof Inn. It was 3 of us, with the third person had an air mattress. We do a double bed.
Oh, damn.
We was living like that. Yeah, it's tough. Like you really
Yeah,
it's
it's
talking
tough.
about you gotta want this. Like Travis was talking
Absolutely.
to me earlier. He was like, "Man, you gotta sound like you want it." I got a feeling. I was like, "Bruh."
Right.
In my mind, I ain't doing like that because I know where his heart, what his intentions was. In my mind, I'm like, "Bro, don't say that line to me, bro.
Right.
Not you
That's
gotta
why
want
I
it.
ask people.
If you out here, you want it because you thug it."
Yeah, that's why I ask people, especially after their first deployment, like, how do you feel about it? Like, do you think this is something that you would want to do? Like, are you still interested?
I'm locked in. I'm
Right.
locked in because ain't nothing. I don't see nothing that give you a better opportunity to get
Absolutely.
after some extraordinary paper like that. Like,
Absolutely.
you know
But
what I
that's the
mean?
thing I love about Component too, is because it's like there's no cap on it. It's really up to you. Like, do you want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning? Do you want to start at 7? Do you want to get to your first house at 6:30 a.m.? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's really how hard you want to go. Like, there's no cap on how much you can make. Like you
yeah,
may take home the minimum of like 7, 8,000, or you may take home 100,000 in a month. You may take home 200. Like, just knowing that those are numbers that you can reach is like
Yep.
yeah,
it racks my brain. It's like, wow, it's really up to me to get
yeah,
as super efficient as I can, and just while I'm there, go as hard as I can for however long I'm there for. But
yeah. And there's guys up here. There's guys up here going crazy, man. Like
oh
I said,
yeah.
I'm where you was, and they was
Hmm.
doing crazy amounts. They
Hmm.
going crazy. A dude showed me his little pay stub. He's like, "Yeah, I got this $20,000 here. Look," he showed me. I'm like, "Okay, brother." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I was motivated. I was inspired.
Right.
I was like,
If nothing
"Okay,
else. If
I
nothing
ain't
else.
quite there yet, but yeah,
Right.
good. I'm glad.
Right.
I'm glad to see it."
Right.
So you hear all those stories, but like Travis was telling me, you do got to get over that hump of jumping out there to um, just expand to do more, and you got to
Push
get your
yourself.
strategy together. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's really what
Hmm.
it is. That's a true statement.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Roderick. I appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah, no
That was
problem.
great. All of that was great. It helps motivate me too, because that's what it's about, just getting after it. But Okay,
So,
Meech, on to you.
absolutely, man. That was great, man. We appreciate that information, man. We actually, I mean, I hope that we can keep in contact and you can keep us posted how things progress, man. And you
Yeah.
know, especially you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you getting some word in, and you know, but you're right, man. Getting you some type of strategy, getting you a structure, and getting how it's going, and getting it down, and repeating that. You know, what is it? Rinse, wash, repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat. Doing it over and over and over.
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be. But you know, one of the things that I did pick up from Travis is, and I don't know if you do it, but it can help you out is your prep work, even before going out.
Yeah.
What are you doing some work before you print out your stuff? Like Travis writes his estimates to the stuff before he even gets out there. So all of that, he's just taking stuff out. So I mean, if you're going in and you know creating your tree and your exactament, doing all the stuff that you could do, pushing it as far as you can before you even go out there. So all you got to do is upload photos, upload your inspection note, and write your estimate. And if you already got a lot of that stuff already down and written down, man, it'll go through a lot faster. But all of that is a lot of your prep work, man, really
Yeah, I
matters.
gotta start doing that. I'm inconsistent with it. Sometimes I jump in that thing and get my tree together. But
Right.
Yeah.
writing
But
it
man, when you
before,
know it,
I can play around with that. That's still some more room to grow in that area for sure.
yeah, and just do all your little paperwork stuff, all of that stuff, the prep work stuff, man. So all you're doing is just dropping them three things in there. Even if you don't write your estimate, do your stuff, but all you writing is your inspection note, you dropping your photos in, and you doing your estimate. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And make
Yeah.
sure your scope sheets are good so you can write your estimates. Cause writing your estimates should take, what, 10 minutes? Because you know exactly what you're writing for by the time you get it. Because your scope notes gonna say it, you're gonna see it, you already got it in your mind, you know. So it's doing it. So just figure out that and get how you doing your claim management and your little structure, and man, it'll start flowing, man. So I know you're gonna pick it up. I'm excited to hear about
Me
next week.
too.
Yeah, I
You
can't.
know, I
I
really
can't
think that
wait to
you're gonna pick it up.
report. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how fast that's gonna happen, but
Right.
I'm
We
definitely
gonna
gonna
check back
report
in a
in
couple
when
weeks.
I cross
Yeah.
over
Man, but
into
you know that's the
doing
thing with this. The thing with this, it can
4,
turn
5,
around.
and 6.
It can turn around like that, man. With this, it can boom, boom. You know, you're gonna be like, man, I closed 5 today, and then boom, I closed 6 today. I closed 5 and 6. Then boom, I closed 5, 6, 6. And next thing you know, that's your normal. Your normal will be 5, 6, 6 from that on out. You know, and it can happen in a matter of weeks. That's the thing with this. Like you were saying, ain't no cap on it. You know, so it all depends on when you get acclimated, when you get your system down and implementing your system. And the quicker that you
Staying
get there
focused
and get
too.
that and get to it. Oh yeah, that focus part, man. Look, I struggle with that. My mind be all over the place. So I struggle with focus. So yeah, man. But at least you
So
know you aware of those.
I think MJ said she had a question.
Okay, cool. Beans.
Yeah,
MJ.
yeah.
All
My
right, he
question,
had a
my
question.
question
Sorry.
was simply, yeah, it was simply this. Between your deployments, like, what did you do to keep busy? During a 6-month span like that.
Man, the
Man.
reason why I didn't go out because I breed dogs, and so I had a litter that I needed to tend to. And man, that's hard work in itself. You got to be there for them puppies. I was doing micro bullies or whatever. So in the meantime, between doing that, I ain't gonna lie, I was doing Uber Eats. I was being like a Uber driver and all that. And man, I got unemployment from I didn't even know I could get it from that, but I got unemployment
Right?
from the first.
That's the first thing I'm gonna do as soon as I get released is sign up for unemployment. I didn't
Facts.
know
I ain't
about
gonna
that last
see.
time.
I let time pass before I did it, and I was sick about it. I'm like, man, I should have jumped straight. So as soon as I get off this one, I only got a week or so to go, about a week and a half. So once I'm back home, I'm getting that together.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
get back to
something that I've
Ubering.
been thinking about myself, just like, the in between, like what can you do to sustain some type of income in between those deployments. But that's what this community, again, that's another thing about this community that I'm reaching into, speaking with Coach Ryan and seeing how I could, try to get that supplemental income.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's one of the questions that I know a few of us have, because keep in mind, I'm still way behind the ears. I'm the rookie, so I haven't experienced a deployment yet. So I'm anxious to get started, but seeing how I'm having to sit on the sideline and wait just to get started, naturally the question was, okay, what the hell do you do in between deployments? And
And I'm
how
gonna say
often
that
is that
if you don't
space?
mind, I'll add this in too. It did seem like right after you get deployed, I actually believe maybe the managers give you a grade or something. I don't know. It seemed like that's what go on from what I was hearing from them. Like they may put in some type of report about you. It seemed like if you didn't stink it up, usually
Well,
they
maybe
gonna give
Miss
you
Candace, Miss K Joy could, let us know. We got our own little manager here. I don't know if
a
she has
okay,
any
yeah, I
input for
think they
that.
do. And it seemed like most people, soon as we got done, within a week, they were sending more stuff. I personally couldn't take advantage because I had my litter. And I feel like if you don't like jump on the ones you get soon after your deployment, that may put you in that little limbo area where it may end up being a while, especially depending on the time of year. You may have to wait till next season or something. And
And
so
it's a
I
lot of
would,
different variables too. How many firms are you on? You get on with all of these
right.
firms. The more firms you get on, the more opportunities. There's a lot of big firms. There's a lot of small firms that pay very well. They take care of the people. So it's a lot of different things. So the more people that you put your name in the hat, the more opportunities that you have to work. Now, if you want to just work for a particular firm and a particular company, and that's it, then of course, it slims down your chances of getting deployments. But if you put your name in the hat of all of those firms, because they reach out to you, once that storm hit, the last gonna call, this person gonna call. Everybody's hitting you up. You know what I mean? So the more people that you get on, if you just on 5 or 6 firms rosters, that's not enough. It's like hundreds of firms. You should, if you're trying to get on right now, you're not on. You should be getting on at least 3 to 4 rosters every week, at least 4 or 5. I would say maybe every day, but every week at least.
Maybe I was gonna say a day. Honestly,
yeah,
I was doing it every day when I was looking for a job.
Because you're putting the same stuff out and it's repetitive. So once you have your resume, once you have it all out, you're shooting it out. We have access to all of these firms. We can give y'all the list. We got a list of firms that you can get. Get on all of these firms. There's firms that send you to Canada. There's firms that send you all over the place. There's firms that specialize in different things. Just get on them, and that increases your chances, of course.
Right.
But one of the main dynamics is in between, to answer your question, you get that unemployment, they're gonna give you the max. You're gonna get about $2,000 a month in unemployment. And so hopefully, that'll float you, a couple of 2 or 3 months till you get your next deployment if it takes that long.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
Take care of money
Meech.
when you get
Let's go ahead
Take
and
care of your money when you get it. Don't blow your money. You
Yeah.
make a lot of it.
Don't blow your
But
bread.
that's
blow
the
your
thing.
money.
The
We'll move forward.
first year, that's all you doing is taking care of debt, and then you like, all right, let's buy a few items,
Yeah,
and then next thing you know, you're not working
It's
for the next
gone.
3-4 months, and then you're like,
There you
damn,
go.
I'm broke again.
Nah,
I'm
for
broke
real.
again.
All right, guys.
But go ahead, Meech.
Moving along.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna say I do have to go, so I appreciate y'all letting me
Thank you,
speak.
Roderick. I
I
appreciate
got
you. Yeah.
I'm happy because I really believe in this component because I did get my first a condo. So this is my first condo. The estimate over 100,000. So I'm like, okay, this what component was supposed to.
Those are the good ones. Those are the good
This what
ones.
component was supposed to be like. Like I was hoping to get a lot of these, but I got at least I leave knowing it's real. Like, and I should take home rent money off this one.
But
absolutely.
The thing with component ain't about just trying to find you one home run winner. The thing with component is getting there and knocking
It's
them
really
out.
about doing
So
a
you're
lot.
gonna be getting at least
doing a lot.
400 on each one. You do 3 or 4. You do five claims a day, making about 300 to 400 a day. On per claim. You know what I'm saying? You $1,500, $1,800 a day. You know what I'm saying? So you can go in there and eat just off, and that's just a
It's
regular
really
claim.
volume. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's true. And you're gonna find some home runs within that volume the more you do.
Absolutely. And within those, you're gonna find some home runs. So don't worry about finding a 100,000 condo. Just go and eat them shits up. That's whatever in front of you. And then, like you said, in between that, you're gonna find some ripples. You're gonna find some 30,000, for
True.
50,000.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
just try to.
And this is only his first component deployment. So like, you know.
He gonna get it. I think he gonna eat after this. But yeah, man, we're gonna keep this thing going again. As I
Okay,
said,
y'all. Appreciate it.
all right, my man. It was good, man. Thanks again, Rod.
All right.
The person that we have speaking up next, near and dear to our heart. She's
Our very own.
our very own. She's a mother of 4. She's a survivor of domestic violence herself. So she can definitely speak to it. Her background, she's been in the oil and gas field industry for over 26 years. Prior to getting into this, she has a degree in accounting, and she's been doing this for about 3 years. So Toby, she's well versed in a lot of things. And again, she's going to speak to us today about domestic violence awareness. So, Miss Rose, if you would not mind, I'm
Miss
using coming
Toby
on.
Rose.
Thank you, Miss Toby Rose.
Hi, everyone. It is wonderful, wonderful to see all your faces. I'm always kind of wanting to keep my camera off and, kind of be doing multitasking and things like that behind the Zoom call, but it's really great to see everyone's face. It makes me happy. I look forward to it every single week. So as you all know, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It's very near and dear to my heart, not only because I'm a survivor, but nearly every female member of my family is also a survivor. I come from, I don't know if you want to call it I wouldn't call it a generational curse, because I never saw my dad speak ill to my mother. I never saw my grandfather speak ill to my grandmother. It just kind of culminated in my generation, and it's been ongoing for a while now. Some of the statistics are that 1 in 4 women are abused before they turn the age 50. So I can pretty much guarantee each and every one of you knows somebody who has suffered from domestic violence. 1 in 7 women are seriously injured from domestic violence. And believe it or not, but 1 in 10 women have been raped by somebody they are in an intimate relationship with. That being said, what is abuse? I mean, we're all adults, and so we've heard that word thrown around from time to time, but abuse is anything that is used to harm, intimidate, manipulate, or control a partner into forcing them into doing things or behaving in a way that they would not normally behave. It can be done through physical violence. It can be done through threats and intimidation, emotional abuse, or financial control. These are all types of abuse that I personally have endured. I lived with and was married to a narcissistic abuser for 15 years. And I've suffered nearly every type of abuse that there is. Again, we can look at physical abuse, emotional and verbal abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, digital abuse. That's kind of a new one with this generation, right? And stalking, last but not least, stalking. The importance of speaking on domestic violence and being aware of domestic violence is being able to support, being able to identify and support your friends and family members who might be going through something like this and don't know how to reach out. They don't know how to get out of those situations, and they don't know how to seek help. Now, recognizing abuse, it can be different in every single relationship. There can be covert abuse where it's kept hidden behind the scenes, and there can be blatant and obvious abuse. It doesn't always look the same for every individual. And it's not always overnight either. And usually it intensifies over time. There are different methods and different moments, but the one thing that all of these have in common is the abuser is using these tactics to create power and control. Now, for me personally, resiliency is, resiliency means the ability to withstand hard times or overcome difficult situations quickly. And as a domestic violence survivor and living with somebody for over 15 years who was an abuser, I've had to be resilient in some very, very hard moments. I've had to put a smile on my face when I didn't want to. I've had to walk away when all I wanted to do was fight back. But again, when these individuals are bigger than you, stronger than you, usually mouthier than you, what do? You kind of shrink and become a completely and totally different person. The effects of domestic violence can last you a lifetime. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to front. I come off as a strong, independent individual, but I still suffer from the effects of the abuse that I endured. I have moments that put me right back in those situations, little triggers. I have moments that cause me great anxiety, which then leads to depressive moments. It is never, never truly over, to be completely honest. I say all of that to really bring light to the issue, because if you don't recognize physical abuse, you may also be suffering. And it's not just women, it's men also. Men can suffer from physical abuse. I've known men to suffer from physical abuse or emotional abuse, all forms of domestic violence. But I strongly encourage, if you know anybody who is living through this, or if you yourself are living through this, reach out to the domestic violence hotline. I've had Major post it here in the chat or in our Zoom call. It's 1-800-799-SAFE. There are a lot of resources out there that can help you get out of those situations, or resources that you can refer people that you know and love to get out of those situations. But just like becoming successful and doing something for financial gain, you have to have a why, right? That's your driving factor. And for me, the ability to gain the courage and leave that situation, I had to search for my why. And my why primarily was my children. 1 in 15 children are exposed to domestic violence, and 90% of those children are eyewitnesses, just like our own Dr. Travis Brock spoke on. This too scars them for a lifetime. As adults, we can kind of reach deep down and find that grit inside us and figure out how to go on. It's the repetitive exposure to this type of behavior that eventually, beats us down. Children, it can happen one time and they're scarred for life. So my children are my why. My children are what gave me the courage to get out of that situation. Just like my children are my why for becoming an adjuster, and they are the why for my drive. One of the forms of abuse that I would suffer, I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's very triggering for me, but one of the forms of abuse that I would suffer was financial abuse. Anytime my ex-husband, would, I used to call it spin. He would spin, he would kind of spiral out of control. He would leave the household for weeks, sometimes months at a time, with no communication to the rest of the family. And from time to time, if he felt the need to control me, he would withdraw all of the money out of the bank account. He would cut off the credit cards. And I had my own job. I had my own job making 6 figures many times. But if somebody goes and pulls out every penny that you have in the bank account, and you're left with nothing, what do you do? And again, that's one of the reasons that I became an adjuster. So I would have my own financial independence. I will never be in a position ever again that somebody control me from a financial means, let alone a physical or an emotional way. So again, 72% of murder suicides involve an intimate partner. So when I say domestic violence intensifies over time, it really does. And anybody that you know or come in contact with that you see signs of abuse, who don't have control over their own lives, who aren't able to make decisions, who are hurt, harmed, injured on a daily basis, whether it's physical or emotional, please say something. You just really don't know when they're waiting to hear something from a loved one to open their eyes. And I don't want to keep everybody super long. So that's really all I have. We're going to be talking about domestic violence all month. We'll be providing additional information and resources and abilities to donate to some local agencies. But I will let everybody have their evening back. I appreciate each and every one of you all so much. And again, if you have any questions over domestic violence or becoming an adjuster, or if you already are an adjuster and have questions on how to maneuver through the lifestyle, just post them in the Q&A. Be sure and go to our Discord. We have some really exciting things coming up, like Dr. Brock said, and we're a community, we're a family, and we're here to help all of you. Meech, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you, Toby.
Let me unmute. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you so much, man, for sharing, Toby. I mean, that's an incredible testament of resiliency on so many levels. So, but thank you, for opening up and sharing that great information and great words with that. So, okay, guys, let me see here. Again, we want to remind everybody, if you have any questions, to drop in the Q&A in the chat. We also have information, forms that we would like for you guys to fill out so that we can get everybody uploaded. And once we start getting this information and put out to you, so there's contact forms in the Discord. If you can fill out those contact forms so we can get in contact with you and send out this information, we would greatly appreciate that. Again, we want to invite everybody to, at the beginning of your journey, in the middle, let's get into this 100K club. Like you said, it's some people weren't even aware. They're not even thinking of it. They weren't thinking of it. I wasn't thinking of it. But it was right there and it was possible. And all we just had to do was remove the fact that we weren't even thinking of it for it to be right there. So we want y'all to know that it's right there. You just have to, take the blinders off and take that cap off of yourself that you put on, and let's go get this 100K in a month.
And also reach out to Travis, because he will really help you with your efficiency. So
he can
reach out.
definitely help you with that.
About that life,
right? Like reach out.
He's done it and done it times over and times over. So
over and over.
That's a benefit about being a part of this community and having access to Dr. Travis, who can help you with that. And we got some other tips, man. Janae's been doing great. So she has tips to how her management is. So we got stuff here for you and available. So utilize that. Next week we got
a good speaker, very good one.
Yeah, he's with Extreme Execution that Dr. Eric Thomas has, and he's going to be he's a part of that, but he is going to be speaking with us next week. He also has a great story. He's a survivor of domestic violence within his family. It's just stuff. He has a great story. I'm gonna let him tell it. I won't even get into it. But his name is Jatan. So Jatan is gonna be joining us next week. And other than that, I mean, guys, do we have anything? Y'all have anything before we get everyone out of here and let everybody get back to their Sunday?
Shout out to Wazir.
I just
Wazir's on the call. Wazir, man, that's
Oh,
my
nice.
coach, man. My one of the coaches with the UOU Mastermind. Shout out to Wazir. I know he's kind of
Okay.
quiet, but shout out to
Okay.
him, man. I see
Shout
him
out
every
to
morning.
Mr. Wazir.
All
I
right.
see
Shout out to
every
Mr.
morning.
Wazir. Good. All right.
Strong Haitian
I
brother.
just-
You know, he's strong. My guy.
All
I
right.
just also want to put out there for people that are newly licensed or those that are waiting for deployment. Although now is a slower period, stay focused. Sign up to a bunch of firms that have those free educational programs. Alacrity is a good one. I think Colonial, I have to get the link for that one, but I'll put it in the chat. But sign up with these firms, you know, stay with that free trainings that they offer. Try to stay engaged, keep reaching out, send your resume out, call people
Get
so
your
they
stuff.
know your name. I know it's tough, especially for someone like me that's very introverted, like just thinking about calling someone to say, hey, I'm new, but you know, like it's weird. It could be weird, but put yourself out there. Because once stuff hits the fan and they don't know who to call, they're gonna look on that roster and they're gonna just send out information to see who bites. Okay, so just stay focused, especially during this dead period. I know it's a slower time, but really, truly try to stay focused on it.
Yep.
That's my spiel.
Get that rope and harness, all of that good stuff. Get, you know, stuff that's going to help you out. Invest in yourself in between times. Get on, learn Xactimate. Go on YouTube.
Yes.
It's a
Go
lot
on
of
YouTube,
stuff.
yeah. Like sign
you
up with
know.
Xactimate over and over. They give you a month free period. Just get everybody that you know email and sign up each month and just practice.
Absolutely. Get proficient at it.
Practice.
And if you get,
Yes.
I'm telling you, you can get so good at something, like you can get so proficient in Xactimate that you can be like kind of at going out and doing inspections, that they'll keep you because you're so good at this that they can teach you this other thing and work with you. So if you can get really proficient at something or one thing, whether it be Xactimate, the knowledge like construction people know roofs and all of that, that's
Right.
great. That's great. You know, get that build on that and be really great at that. If you're in an office setting and you know how to sketch roofs, I am telling you, you are valuable. You'll be the last person standing on that because they're gonna, hey man, can you sketch this roof for me?
I
You're
do
gonna be
not
in there
know how to
sketching all
sketch
the
a
roofs.
roof, and I pray I don't have to because
I'm telling you,
I don't even want to do it.
So learn
So if
that
you
kind
could
of
do
stuff.
that,
So,
like yeah.
I'm telling you, learn that kind of stuff, man. And, you know, while you're in between time or just, you know, while you're not on deployment right now. So that's the whole meaning. So, man, again, thank you guys so much for being with us, man. We really do appreciate you for taking time out y'all Sundays. You know, I know we know games on, Sunday
Especially.
night game going on, but, you know, I know everybody's in a great mood because the Cowboys won today. So I know that just
Moving
made
on.
everybody a lot better for the day. And so, but again, man, I appreciate seeing everybody's faces, seeing everybody's names, and you know, we'll let y'all have the rest of y'all nights, man. So thanks again for joining us,
It's a fact.
and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Peace out.
All right.
It's nice to see you,
Obi,
Clifton.
what's going
Great
on?
Obi, it's nice to see you, Obi.
Yeah, man, it's good to see y'all, man. All the people in the house.
What's happening? Brittany jumped on. Brittany, what's up, girl? You know, you finally jumped on. What's going on, my friend? Javon.
Oh, now Toby got her Kansas City hat on. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, there we go.
Yeah, see, they playing right now.
Yes, and they better
Okay.
win. They better win.
Yeah, I need them to win
They better
too.
win.
I need y'all to
Giselle,
cover.
what's going on, Miss Giselle? Miss Anthony, what's happening, my friends? Gone.
Out. They're out.
I want to give a shout out to Glazelle. She just got her license.
Woo!
So
Oh, nice.
Congratulations to her.
Congratulations.
All right, all right.
Good job,
That's what I like to
Good
hear.
job.
Good
All
job.
right.
Nice job. Great
Good
job.
job.
How's ride along, Cliff? Hey, Cliff, how's ride alongs, man?
Yeah, how's your ride-alongs going?
What from it?
So I gotta tell you, man, Dennis is
Mhm.
awesome. He's been
Yep.
so helpful, and he's
That's nice.
been so
Oh, Dennis,
patient.
wow, bro.
and
That's
he knows roofs, right? The first person I got to go out with a whole week and a half
That's so
was
good.
showing me stuff
Cliff,
so
that's so
advanced about
good.
roofs.
That's so good
That's
that you
awesome.
got that opportunity because, man, that's very helpful. That's
really
very
good,
helpful.
man.
And
Mhm.
also,
good.
the
And good
thing
job,
about
Dennis.
also the thing about it is like, you don't know what obstacles are out there until you're thrown into it. Like you should roll up to a house and there's a roofer out there standing there. Oh my, it's like walking in a minefield.
Yeah.
I love it.
With the
I
experience
love
of
it.
someone
I
like
know.
Dennis showing you how to do it, you know where to step and you know when to just stay back. I can't
Yeah.
tell you how honored and privileged I feel to have the support of Dennis, and also I haven't gone out with Toby yet, but because it hasn't worked out, but we just with
More
other
dirty.
stuff going on, but
More dirty.
they're awesome, man. They're so
By the
what
time he starts,
what an
he's gonna have
amazing
so much
human being.
confidence.
I'm telling you, Dennis is an amazing human being.
Oh, that's so
Oh.
nice to hear.
All
That's
right,
very
now you
nice
let
to
a little
hear.
thick now.
How much
You
he
let
pay
a
you?
little thick now.
How much
That's
you
very
pay?
nice to hear.
Oh,
man.
we've
Go
all
Kansas
met
City.
Dennis. We met Dennis. Like we know. No, I just,
I was gonna ask Cliff if you're ready to go to T-Town.
Cliff, thank you,
Yes,
brother.
ma'am.
hold on,
I'm
let me
ready
stop.
to roll.
I'm gonna be out there next week. Let me stop playing. Oh man, I love Dennis. That's my man. I love Dennis. I'm gonna be out there next week. I forgot I'm coming out there.
Oh man.
Thank you,
That's
Cliff.
good.
Oh, funny.
Thank
No,
you.
that's
It's
real,
my
man.
pleasure.
That's
cool.
great, man. That's great, man.
It's my pleasure
you
to pay
getting
it
at?
forward to you. Just pay it forward. You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
one of the things that was done for me was someone was there to basically hold my hand and teach me about the things that helped me get this money. You know what I'm saying? And he held my hand. And like even my manager, I don't want to brag, but I am pretty cold out there in the field. I'm pretty cold.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey, own that thing, man. Own
Man,
it.
I can't wait to ride along. I want to ride
Own that
along.
thing.
I want to ride along. Ride along.
and Cliff picks it up pretty well. Cliff picked it up pretty well. He's real knowledgeable. He's got his own vibe about things, and that's what I told him. Create your own
That's
lane,
important. That's important.
Cliff.
Well,
You
it's being
take in what
yourself.
everybody's saying, but you make sure you make it your own. You have to.
That's it.
It's the only
That's
way
it.
you're gonna get it for real. That's great, Cliff.
Yeah,
That's so
Toby.
good to hear. That's so good to
He's
hear.
gonna be cold. He's gonna be cold when he get out there.
Yeah, yo, can you imagine his first
Cliff is gonna be
deployment?
cold when he-
Managers
Cliff
are
is
gonna
gonna
be
be
like,
cold.
"This is your first deployment? Are you sure? Like you've never done this?"
He's gonna be cold. He's gonna
That's
be
what's
on
up.
our-
Good job, good job,
Clifton
Dennis.
Clifton is gonna
Good
be
job,
on our
Dennis.
first poster board. He's gonna be on the poster board
Yup.
with a success story. He's gonna be like, how this I made this community. He's gonna be on our first
Oh
commercial.
man, I love that.
My
I
first
love
commercial.
that.
Yeah. He's gonna be on the commercial. He's gonna be dope,
I
man.
love that.
That's so
Man.
cool. We're gonna be shining, smiling,
Yeah,
shining. Yeah,
he's a
I'm
handsome guy.
healthy
He's a
and
handsome
stuff.
guy, man. He look like everybody. I
He's
love him.
gonna. That's what I'm saying. This is gonna be easy for him with the policyholders. This is gonna be easy for him.
Cause he already
gonna
like
be
a smooth
easy.
operator.
Right.
Yeah. He gonna be breaking bad news to him. They gonna be like, oh, that's okay.
With a
Take
smile,
that.
right?
Yeah, he gonna be like,
Well,
man,
well,
thank
you know what? You know what though? I mean, like Dennis. This whole thing is about being honest and real. That's it.
Definitely.
Honest
And
and
if you
real.
can do it up front, it makes things way easier.
And
Yeah.
people
Just do
know
it
when
up
you're being
front.
honest and real. If you're being
Mhm.
honest and true to who you are and you're trying to understand and just speak and deliver the truth,
Oh, man, I need some.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
I'm Toby. I fixed my hat. I'm Toby. Fix my hat.
Yeah.
All
Fix
right,
my hat.
guys. I'm about to watch this Kansas City game.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you
Me
guys
too.
are out there repping. I love to see that. It's been real, guys. I'll see y'all.
I'm
soon.
hollering.
man.
Holla. Good
All
job,
right,
Toby.
Travis.
Good
Yeah,
job,
that's
bro.
usually
Good
that's
job.
usually
Oh,
that's
shit.
that's
There
usually
you
when
go.
you know it's over. That's usually when you know it's over. Once he starts doing that move, I gotta.
I
Have a good
can't
one,
find my
guys.
little extra quick.
All right.
I can't
Y'all have a good week.
Nah.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
y'all.
Go Chiefs.